This is part of a quick series about the competencies of being a business analyst. Just to keep everything nice and consistent, I'll be using the same grouping used by the IIBA so that if you're studying for any certification or anything, you don't get confused. In this video, I'll be covering written communication. You won't always be available to share your knowledge verbally to every single person, so eventually you'll have to write things down. Written communication for a business analyst is the opposite of what you learned in creative writing. You are not trying to wow people with interesting vocabulary or spark people's imagination in every which way. Instead, you're trying to make sure everyone who reads your words, whether it's an email, user story, requirement, or whatever, gets the exact same interpretation, and it is the interpretation you intended. There is a great quote attributed to Albert Einstein that goes, "Make everything as simple as possible, but not a bit simpler," or something like that. And it's how you should go about creating any deliverable, whether it's words, diagrams, or even interfaces. My tips for written communication are short but extremely effective. First, you should always have a clear objective for whatever you are writing in mind. For example, if you're creating an email because you need a response, your email should be formatted towards having all the right information to get that response. Also, you should be clear on the target audience. This will help you provide the right level of clarity for whom you are communicating with, so you don't use concepts, technical terms, or abbreviations that they are unfamiliar with. After that, I have 3 rules for writing. The first is to keep sentences short. Each sentence should be a single thought or unit of information. I try to avoid conjunctions like and, or, which, however, and so forth. Second, lists should look like lists. Sequences should be numbered, subpoints should be bulleted. It just makes it easier for your end user to understand how they should organize all the words you put on the page for quicker understanding. Finally, you should use the simplest form of words. You aren't trying to prove how smart you are with your vocabulary, you are trying to create understanding. I highly recommend you check out the link in the description to an academic paper about how to improve your technical writing. It's where these rules originated, and there are a bunch of really great examples to help you really drive the point home. I hope that was helpful. Stay tuned for the next parts in this series. As always, if you have additional questions, ask them in the comments, and I'll either respond to you there or create a new video to answer your questions. So subscribe to see those questions get answered.